So I decided that I would just show up today and completely go off script and off agenda. I've been posting a lot of things for the Radiant Joy community, but what's on my mind right now is really more about the holiday season, uh, coming to the end of 2024 and into 2025, and facing interesting challenges, and new opportunities that have never been faced before. And looking at what is really important in this moment. Right now, I'm in my office and I was hoping to go outside and do my video outside in nature, but it's really cold out there right now, and I think it's going to rain pretty soon. So I thought, well, I guess I better just do this from my office. And so what I was thinking about, with all of that um, is how we adapt to change, and how we can take challenges and turn them into opportunities. And so if I had a gift that I could just give somebody, even give to myself sometimes, it'd be great if I could pick this up faster than I have in the past, or then I might pick it up later in the future, who knows. But if I could give a gift, I think it would be the gift of being able to magically turn challenges into opportunities. And one of the successful challenges that I turned into an opportunity in the past, when I think about this time of year with many people celebrating holidays, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, um, Yule, whatever winter holiday that you celebrate. When I think about celebrating the holidays, I think about a time when I was getting divorced and I had my two kids, and I had to figure out how to do Christmas when I wasn't always going to have them on Christmas Day. In fact, at one point, I chose not to have them on Christmas Day and to create a completely different day for them. And so, what we came up with, because we had various family members that were working on holidays and things like that, the best thing that we came up with was to just be flexible about the day. And so instead of being completely hopeless and lost and disappointed because we weren't going to have Christmas together or this or that, we just reduced the importance of Christmas, right? We lowered the importance of Christmas as a day and decided that yes, while we do want to have a celebration that has to do with family, and it has to do with giving from our hearts, and it has to do with the coziness of the season and all of those things, it doesn't necessarily have to be Christmas. I mean, when you think about it, Christmas really wasn't Christmas to begin with. It was another holiday that Christmas was overlaid onto. So that's a whole nother story. But what we came up with, because I had so much joy in reading The Grinch Who Stole Christmas to my kids, and I read it so many times that I had that story down by heart. I could just start reading it without the book. Well, I guess that's not really reading it. I would tell it without the book. And so I decided that we would create this day called Grinchmas. And Grinchmas, now there's everything Grinchmas. You can find Grinchmas things all over the place, but this was years ago. I never saw a Grinchmas thing. And so we began Grinchmas, and it was when the kids were little. And so that day usually landed on Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve Eve. Now, you don't really want to say Christmas Eve Eve because that just doesn't sound good. And that's probably why I came up with Grinchmas for that day, is because Christmas Eve Eve just, it doesn't roll off the tongue. So we used to do Grinchmas, and now I've got my kids are grown. They have they have babies, so I have grandbabies, and I've got two little kids in the house again. So another round of little ones, and we're celebrating Grinchmas again. We don't even do Christmas here; we do Grinchmas. So I'm really excited about that because Grinchmas to me means so much more. It means reaching in deep to any restrictions that we have in our hearts. And we all have little bits of restrictions in our hearts. Nobody is completely freely giving in every single way. And nobody is completely unrestricted in their hearts. Well, I mean, I don't know if I can judge that, but I don't know personally any self-realized people that are ascending at this moment. So, so we all have places in our hearts where we can expand a little bit, where we can grow our hearts maybe 3 sizes in one day. And so I think about that, and I think about what, this season, what is the most important thing that I can give this season? And of course, we can give to our families. But when you think about giving, giving can occur in so many different conscious ways, right? So we can give, just the right thoughtful gift to somebody. We could give something that is not only thoughtful to somebody, but also helps the environment in, say, like more of a consumable gift that doesn't have much packaging to it. Like, say, you bake something for somebody, or you make them a bath salt, or something like that. That could be something that you give to somebody that doesn't create more clutter. Maybe, for the bath salts that you give to somebody that you create yourself, you use a recycled jar. Maybe it was an old jam jar that you had, and you put the bath salts in there and give it to them. Or maybe you make a bath bomb and it doesn't have any packaging, or maybe it just has maybe it's just in a little, maybe use a reusable cookie tin, and you can put them in little cupcake or candy wrapper holders. But I think that one of the most valuable gifts is thinking about not only the gifts that we give to each other in physical gifts, but maybe in the gift of our presence, because this is a time of year when we can be running around um, and getting really busy, and there's a timeline, and there's text coming in, and there's a timeline of when everything has to get done, right? There's this timeline that you have where you know I mean, Christmas lands on a certain day, and you've got gatherings that are scheduled. And so you have to be there with the gifts and the food and all the things that you need to be responsible for, right? But maybe it's about also finding that space within you to maybe give to yourself first in the form of a breath, a coming fully present to yourself, a allowing yourself the spaciousness to have more enjoyment of the season. And then coming from that place of being filled up to your family, to the people that you will be spending time with on the holidays, and bringing your full presence to them. Not presence, but your presence. Now, isn't that something that's so valuable nowadays when our attention is on scrolling and our phones and on what we have to do next and what happened in the past? I mean, to fully be present in this moment without any other distractions is something that's magic. That's something special. Just the breath and just what's right in front of you in the moment. That that is a gift. And then, wow, let's think about how we can take this even further. What if we brought our presence to the world? What if we were fully present when we were driving, when we were shopping, when we were out in the world, and we brought that presence to our interactions? Is it possible that we might show up with those interactions with more patience and more love? Is it possible to expand our hearts around somebody else who isn't so patient out there? And can we gather enough presence and strength to not react to that and to just allow a safe container for other people to be around in our presence? What a gift to the world. Yeah, that feels to me like the piece of a snowflake floating. It feels like, can you imagine if you could slow down your reactions to things to the speed of a snowflake floating down? As if you had to watch the snowflake come all the way from the sky to the ground before you decide what you're going to do next. And in that period of time, you look for ways that you can show up in presence and love. I hope you have the most amazing holiday season. Grinchmas, Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Yule. I don't know all of the holidays of the winter season, but whatever celebration brings more light into your life, I hope that's what you celebrate. And I hope that you feel the full presence of that light and expansion in your heart this season. Have a joyful and blessed holiday.